What's going on, guys? It's Alex here from the Locksmith Mentor. Now in this video I'm going to be going through my top 10 locksmith tools for beginners. Now these are all tools that I use on a daily basis. I've been a locksmith for about 15 years and these are just things that I can live without. It might vary for you if you're, depends in what area of locksmithing you're getting into. If it's cars, this might not be so relevant for you. But if you're going to be a domestic locksmith and you're not sure what tools you want, this video hopefully will be super helpful for you. So starting at number 1, this is in no particular order, but this is my favourite tool, and this is the humble Mica. Now the reason I love this is that it's super cheap, it's lightweight. I keep it in my back pocket every day. I just walk around and keep this on me. And there's so many uses for it. I'm not going to go into too much detail about how to use every one of these tools. If you want to learn more about that, I'll tell you more at the end. But this, as you might know, it's for slipping open locks, any sort of spring-loaded latches. We can open doors with these. Also window catches, you can check if locks are on by sliding it in the gap of the door. Just super useful, and it's a must-have tool when you're starting out. So that's the Mica. That's number 1. Now number 2, we've got the electric pick gun. This one is the HPC Electro Pick. This is my personal preference, which I've had the most success with. I've tried many others on the market. This one I just find comfortable to use, and again, I've opened more locks with it, so it really works for me. You can adjust the tension on it. It comes with various different shaped blades and a few tension wrenches. And one little tip when you are using it is to hold it very lightly, almost with 3 fingers like that. What that does is it allows the vibrations to go through into the lock, whereas if you're holding it very firmly and pressing it, you're absorbing that vibration and you're not allowing it to go into the lock. So one little bad point about it is that it doesn't come with a charger. It does take batteries, so you need to replace 4 AA batteries. All I've done is just got rechargeable batteries for it, so I guess it's the same, it's not a problem. It's just a little bit more faffing around when you want to change the batteries. But yeah, so that's the HPC pick gun. I got this from Amazon. I don't know if they're available on there anymore, but do try different pick guns, see what works for you, but this is the one that works for me. So that's number 2. Okay, number 3 is this handy little flexible cable with strong magnets on the end. Now this is super handy for going through the letterbox and picking up bunches of keys that have been dropped through. I've even had a customer that once stepped out of his car and dropped the keys down the drain, like right next to him. So I've come along and put this tool through the drain and fished out the keys with the magnet. So it just comes in, it's a nice little backup tool. I wouldn't say I use this every day, but certainly on a weekly or monthly basis I'll use this. It's nice to have it as backup for, you'll find a situation where it will come in handy, put it that way, and you'll be glad that you bought it. So that's number 3, is I don't think it's got a name, just say a magnetic cable. Number 4, we've got the cylinder snapper. Now I've had this same snapper from day 1, from the day I started locksmithing. It's got a Euro profile hole on one end and an oval hole on the other end. Super heavy duty, it's never going to break, and it's, as I say, I've probably snapped many locks with this one. Again, I'm not going to go into detail how it's used, but that's the cylinder snapper. There are other versions where they've almost got like a clamp on the end, so you can tighten the clamp onto the lock with an Allen key. I guess to get more purchase onto the lock if it's only protruding slightly, but I have tried them without much success. I much prefer this one. Never had a problem with this, and it's served me very well. So that's the cylinder snapper at number 4. Number 5, we've got the manual Pitt Gun. Now, this basically does the same thing as the electric Pitt Gun, but of course it's manual, so you're not going to get as many vibrations, obviously. This I found really handy for pin tumbler locks, just standard, you know, like Yale locks we call them in the UK. You can adjust the tension on this. One little tip is to keep the tension quite low. Don't go overboard on the tension, because it won't open the lock. So that's this one's the Dino. Super handy. As you can see, it's battered because I've had it so long, but it's served me very well. So that's number 5. Number 6, we've got the humble wire pick. Again, this is the thing I like about this, is it's cheap, it's lightweight, and it's super multi-use. You can adjust them, you can cut them to what size you want, you can bend them. Really handy for picking open mortise locks, and perhaps pulling the latch back on an outward opening door for a lockout. Super handy. Again, I've used these on sash windows to pull little latches back, everything, you know. Again, it's kind of like a great backup tool to have in your box, because there'll always be a tricky situation that you just think, oh, if I had a wire that would bend round and pick that up, and this is what this is for. So that is the wire pick. Comes in a big set. I'm just showing you one here for an example. That's the wire pick at number 6. Okay, number 7, we've got the plug spinner. Now, this is used for if you pick a lock in the wrong direction, you can actually spin the plug back past the shear line. So let's just say we come to a door, we say to the customer, which way do you normally turn the lock? If they tell you clockwise, you could spend 5 or 10 minutes picking the lock clockwise, only to find out that when you turn the plug, it doesn't open the door. So rather than have to relock it and pick it back the other way, you can simply insert this tool and spin that plug back past the shear line, saving you from having to pick it again. And sometimes locks, you'll find that they won't pick one way, they'll only pick the other way, which is, you know, for whatever reason, maybe the way the pins have worn, it won't let you pick it one way, but it will pick the other way. In that case, you can just spin it back using this plug spinner. Super handy tool. Get yourself one of those. Okay, number, what are we now? 8. We've got the Letterbox Tool. Now, this one is the Souber Letterbox Tool. This is another tool that I've had from day one. It's got all the attachments in here. This one's really battered, it's got parts missing and everything, but it served me well. So you can see it's got a little mirror on here, and if you don't know what this is for, it's for going through the letterbox to pull the handle down on the inside of the door. It comes with all these attachments. One thing I don't like about this tool is the connections are very loose, so these can often fall out. I'll show you here just how loose they are. Some of them, they just don't hold at all. That's probably with wear and tear, so I often have to put a little bit of card in there to clamp them in. There are new versions of this tool out now. There's one that's called the Extreme Letterbox Tool, which is, it does many more things than this one. Plus it's got little ball catches, spring-loaded ball catches that lock the attachments together, so you don't have any risk of dropping the tool through the letterbox, which can be a disaster, because then you've lost your tool to open the door. So that's the letterbox tool. This is the Souber Letterbox Tool. Again, it's a must-have, especially in the UK. I'm not sure in the States if you have so many letterboxes. I think I only know from watching movies and stuff, but you normally have a letterbox, like a post box down the end of the garden or on the wall. But in the UK, certainly we have letterboxes, so this is a must-have tool. That's the letterbox tool. Number 9, we've got the uPVC spreader. Again, this is a multi-use tool, but what we use this for is spreading the door, creating a gap between the door and the frame, so we can often pop open the little hook catches on a multi-point locking system. There are times where the lock mechanism jams up, so even if you did snap the cylinder or you managed to pick it or whatever, it wouldn't retract them hooks. So we can just go in, we can either pop the actual hooks out of the keeps, or we can create a gap and then use a screwdriver to hook them out. Super handy tool. Again, I've used this on sash windows to ease them open, all sorts of things. It's pretty much a multi-purpose tool, I'd say. Very handy, and yeah, it's a good investment. It's worth having 2 of these, one for the top and one for the bottom of the door. So that's the uPVC spreader. Okay, finally, this isn't so much a locksmith tool, but it is a must when you're starting out, is a head torch. Most of our work, you're using 2 hands. If you're picking a lock, you've got one on the tension, one on the actual pick. You don't have that 3rd hand to hold a torch. You don't want to say to your customer to hold a torch, it's very unprofessional. So invest, a few dollars into a head torch. This particular one's from Amazon. It's called LED Lenser. And the good thing about this one, you can adjust the brightness and the focus on it, which is pretty cool when you need to sort of focus on one point of the lock. Really handy and definitely a must have. Okay, so that was my top 10 locksmith tools for beginners. Hope you found that useful. If you want to learn more about how to use these tools and perhaps, how to become a locksmith, how to set your business up, how to start a locksmith business, I do have an online course which basically teaches you both the practical side and the business side. So in the business side, we start out with what tools you need, how to set your van up, how to start your own locksmith website, how to rank it on #1 on Google, because that's where all your work's going to come from. Then it moves on to like how to take payments, how to keep the business running, how to get more work. These are all tips that I've built up over 15 years as a master locksmith. And then there's a practical side of the course which teaches lock picking, lock bypassing techniques, everything like that. It's all condensed into 20 videos. It's not going to be months and months long. This is just like a real sort of, like an intense bit of training on a short period. It's not going to teach you everything. That's impossible, we all know. Even if you went out and trained for 2 years with a master locksmith, you wouldn't know everything. But this video will get you started as a locksmith. It will tell you what you need to get started, and it's basically all of my 15 years of a locksmith all condensed down into an easy short mini course online. And the good thing about it is you can watch it from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go to a hotel and spend on hotel fees and spend time away from home, and it's not going to cost you thousands of dollars. It's going to be really affordable. And the tools to start out, this little collection here might cost you £500, and then with my course you'll be set up and ready to go. So if you're interested in learning more, I also give you a free ebook, whether you join or not. If you want a free ebook, it's just click the link below, and hope to see you guys in the course. Thanks for watching.